This is WGRG 100.5 FM, where we meet the absolute minimum FCC broadcasting standards. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio program that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but to talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and City Alderman Keith Kennett. And yeah, nobody, and I mean nobody, puts the blah in blah, blah, blah like these guys do.
And good morning. You are listening to WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo. This Friday morning edition, as always, of Let's Talk Geneseo, a community radio program about things happening and of interest to the residents of our fine community. I'm Keith Kennett, joined as always with Brandon Meglin on the other side of the table. Got Justin sitting in a little bit too, getting ready for weather after the broadcast and stuff. So anyway, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, some snow flurries out there the past couple of days.
I'll tell you what, there were some excited children running around in the driveway with the few flakes that we had.
Thank goodness it didn't stick. We don't want to get the plows out quite this early, Keith.
I did see, though, I saw some assault remnants on the street. So somebody was putting down, I don't know if it was IDOT or who it might have been.
Not sure.
Or maybe somebody spilled just a mysterious white powder on the street. I'm not sure on that. I'm going with salt, though.
Yeah. Another thing here that's new in the studio or on Channel 50 for those watching us live or that watch Channel 50 using the link or Channel 50 or all the platforms that it's on, is you got should we call it the temporary Christmas camera going?
We have the temporary Christmas camera going as a nice shot of the intersection of State and 2nd, of the new city tree, and a little bit of the old Clevan's furniture, which is now Geneseo. I always forget their name. Of the
Geneseo
Quality Furniture Store
Home
on the
Furnishings?
Geneseo Home Furnishings. I do believe.
I forget too.
Yep. Designs on the Boulevard, I believe, is there.
Yep. Great shot of Designs on the Boulevard right there.
But
and beautiful new tree.
New tree, star on top, all good. We've had some wind. It's stable as can be. Things are looking pretty good with the installation.
Yeah, we've, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't pulled up the camera from this feed a few times during the late night hours just to see when the wind has really been whipping the past couple of days to see if we could see any movement. But looks like the utility guys did a great job of stabilizing the inside. There's a lot of stabilization in there that you don't see from the outside, but the top does move a little bit in the high winds.
A little bit of a natural, gives it that good look too. A little bit of a natural movement.
But it was put to the test these past couple of days and looks great. We did have a photo eye on there that turned it on and off, a sensor for light. And yesterday we did switch that out to it was a little bit too sensitive. Some of the feedback we were getting is the baskets and the street lamps would come on, more around the 4 o'clock, 4:30 hour, and the tree, because the photocell is so sensitive and brand new on this brand new tree, that it wouldn't actually come on until it was dark out. So it was after 5 o'clock, and so now there's a timer on there, that's set from 4 p.m. to 7 a.m. So be on a little bit longer for your afternoon shopping in downtown or coming into work early morning.
Well, most of the time, obviously, the tree is not up, so we might as well enjoy it as best we can, and certainly no lack of lights on the new tree. That baby, a little challenging to get a camera setting to where it didn't completely blow out the light on the tree and the other areas. A lot of contrast issues that we had to work through, but turned out very nicely having the tree. Saw something on what night was it? I'm not sure, but it was like 1 a.m. or what have you, but I was surfing and then went to the picture and stuff just to see how the tree was doing and this and that. And then so a person came up to the tree. I would guess maybe a late teenage age girl, and had like holiday pajama pants on, what have you. It wasn't reindeer, but it was like a Christmas pattern or what have you. Goes by the tree and then looks, and I see her start waving her arms and what have you. And there was maybe like 7 or 8 people come running, and then they all stand in front of the tree, and they're trying to take a selfie, in front of the tree or what have you. It was just kind of a cute thing to see that they were on some sort of a mission. Yeah, it was all a positive thing. Nobody was out there doing anything nefarious.
Yeah. Well, this shows how sad and boring our lives are at night, Keith. Because I was also checking the camera one of these nights.
Oh, did you?
It was a Henry County sheriff had pulled up the squad car up in front of the concrete pour there to get a picture. I don't know where that picture ended up, but I imagine it's somewhere on their social media or something.
Yeah, and that would what fun is that? But take a picture by the new tree and stuff. So so if we've seen a couple just in our random times watching it, there's probably been many that we're unaware of. But enjoyed the new tree, and I think that's working well. Had a nice lighting ceremony and stuff for it. And then some people have asked, but for the Christmas walk, the tree will be off, and there will be again a ceremonial relighting of it as part of that as well, if I understand that correctly.
Yeah, the chamber coordinates all of those events, and because it was a new tree and we wanted to get it on by the Christmas open house, which started was this past Friday through Sunday, I should say, when we did the first lighting. They wanted to kind of have an official first lighting to the Christmas open house shopping season. So there's going to be 2 lightings this year because, like Keith said, the traditional tree lighting that happens after the parade on Christmas walk evening. That's a tradition where Santa comes out and lights the tree, and that still will go on. So the tree will stay dark until after the parade that night, and then be relit for all to enjoy. So we should mention, that Christmas open house event. Hats off to the Chamber of Commerce, Zach and Jess, and the Chamber Board, the Christmas Walk Committee that put that together to make the appearance of our new tree and the introduction to it really a special event that last Friday night out there at the intersection too. So thanks to all those folks that work so hard to make those events happen for us.
Yeah, and while we're on kind of the Christmas theme here a bit, but can maybe run through too on some upcoming dates. Of course, mentioned the Christmas walk, but I think Inspire also.
Yeah. So other Christmas-related activities. Of course, we just had the open house, like we talked about. The actual Christmas walk, that's on December the 14th. That's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. events going on all throughout the day. Check out the Chamber social media or website, geneseo.org, for the full schedule of events, of things going on. Of course, probably the most popular part of the event is the lighted parade. That kicks off sharply at 5 o'clock, and then there'll be, as the parade ends, everybody gathers around the new tree, and we'll have the official Christmas walk lighting of the brand new tree on State. Yes, you also mentioned so the Holiday Lights Competition, Community Lights, sponsored by Geneseo Municipal Electric. This is something that we've done every year for quite a while now, too. Encourage everybody to decorate their homes for the holiday season. And then there is a competition that will go on. We have registration forms if you want to sign up, enter your house into the contest. There's a form on the City of Geneseo website. You can find it on our Facebook page as well, a link to it. Got to have those registration forms in by December the 6th. And there will be judging that will take place from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on, I believe it's Wednesday, December 11th. I have asked our friends at Inspire Continuing Care to be the judges for this competition this year. So the members of Inspire will go out together from 5 to 7 p.m., trying to see if we can get Chief Disterhoff maybe to do a police escort lead vehicle on the light tour to the competing houses. So that should be a fun night. And then they'll judge the displays. Those who enter, I believe we have 4 different prizes, first, second, third, and fourth, which are all credits on your electric bill. So that's sponsored again by the Geneseo Municipal Electric Utility here as a way to encourage people to bring the holiday spirit out in Geneseo.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and then it's also just fun for residents then, too. We'll, of course, publish the winners and what have you, and makes for a fun little holiday light tour in the community just in general also. So cool, and shouts out to Inspire. That's a fun fun and a nice way to get them involved in it too.
Yeah. And as our listeners have probably noticed, today's kind of a unique show.
We
don't have an official. Usually we rely on a guest to fill about 15 to 20 minutes of our program, speaking about a new initiative or an organization in Geneseo that's doing something positive or an event coming up. And today it's just Keith and I rambling on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Justin here with the weather, of course.
Justin's keeping an eye on us. He's keeping us within the curbs.
We're not going to make him, give a 15-minute lecture for us.
But again, Justin will be here after the program to share some weather information and stuff. I appreciate him sitting in with us. But yeah, this is in our whatever number program this is.
I think this is show 43.
Yeah.
If you can believe that.
43. Wow. Okay.
Episode 43.
Well.
Again, a reminder that all of these are, we put the recordings on the city's YouTube page for, there are people that like to go and replay, listen to them if they want to find out about something or hear a friend or a colleague on the program. Those are on the city's YouTube page. Just search City of Geneseo on the YouTube search bar. You'll quickly find our logo and our page. We should also mention all of our city council and committee meetings are all broadcast live on that YouTube page, and then the recordings live on the YouTube page too, to go back and check out if there's ever a meeting topic of interest that you wanted to, that maybe you heard about something that happened in a council meeting, you want to go back and see what actually occurred. Sometimes that's a better way to do it than maybe trusting somebody's opinion on social media on a topic or something like that. Actually, go back, you can check out the meeting or come in person even.
That is true, and when it's of course all the YouTube archived meetings, the nice thing is you can fast forward through the parts that you have no interest in.
Yeah,
which is probably most of the meeting many times. Yeah. But yes, certainly encourage that because we do everything we can to get the accurate information out there. But it's just sometimes information can be maybe not quite accurate, and so we just want to do everything we can to make sure whatever is out there is indeed accurate. But speaking of city things and what have you, I know North State Street's moving along, and what might we expect there?
Yep, North State Street project, which is a impetus for that project was a full redo of the underground infrastructure over 100 years old in that project location. So it was time to take action on replacing water, sewer, storm. We'll have a new streetscape, of course, as well, a new sidewalk. One of the things that will actually look different above ground is the continuation of the decorative downtown lighting that we have all the way. When the project finally concludes, it will extend all the way on State to Ogden. So, right now we're seeing Part A of Phase 1, I'll call it, of this project just wrapping up street opening by December 1st. That is from Park Street to Palace Row. Early spring, we'll see a continuation of that project from Palace Row to Wells, and that concludes Phase 1 of the project. We're just setting meetings for the beginning of next month to start the planning of Phase 2, which is continuation from Wells down to Ogden, of replacement of all of that 100-plus-year-old infrastructure, new street and new sidewalk, new decorative lighting. So that's where we are now, but street opening by December 1st, and then continuation in the spring. Purposely, the city council wanted to and did build in, when we put this project to bid, a break for the winter months, so that often in communities you might see if a project breaks for bad weather, they may have a hole in the ground still and just block it off. Well, we didn't want that to happen, so there was a purposeful break put in on this Part A to conclude, so that we didn't have traffic barricades and things up during 3 to 4 months during the winter.
And of course, we spoke about it earlier, but the project up at Prairie Park, the solar panel project, there's been additional movement, additional meeting activity and stuff on that. Just maybe a little bit of a recap on the status from the last meeting.
Yeah, so let's see, the last council meeting was on November the 12th. City Council took another look at this project. I believe this was now the 4th public meeting that this topic has been available for public comment. Those who wanted their opinion to be heard to come out and speak on the project as well. At that meeting, they decided, so we got a lot of public feedback on the location of the potential solar array project, new 2-megawatt solar array, to help Geneseo hedge the energy market, lower what we actually buy on the future market of electricity. We know those rates are scheduled in the next 10 to 20 years to really increase, is what all the experts and the forecasters say on that. So adding a new solar array makes sense for Geneseo to take a look at, and the incentives that are provided by the State of Illinois Shines program right now. So at that last meeting, took some of the feedback. In the spring there was a wide look at potential site locations, nothing pinpointed as an exact proposal, but there was a broad map that was put out. A lot of feedback on the north of, if you know, the Prairie Park acreage. It's 68 acres of ground that the city owns. Part of it is the Prairie Park Trail System. Part of what we call Prairie Park in that 68 acres has always been a multi-use facility for public works, the police department shooting range, the civil defense building, and the city burn pile on the southern end. So really scrapped on the early look plans that included the north side of Prairie Park. It's the area that used to be the city dump. There's some prairie grasses. There's some nice, some walking areas there that people, volunteers, have cut paths into. We scrapped that. It was about 8 acres out of the plan and condensed everything for this potential future project to go around the city facilities on the southern end. Be about 11 acres around the city facilities out of that 68, and then to be able to fence everything in. There's a strong desire as part of this project, coupled with the solar energy initiative, to have access control to the police shooting range, to the burn pile. These are not areas that are well controlled right now, and people aren't supposed to be in them. Free flowing through a police shooting range, the civil defense building, a burn pile. And so with this project and putting them in this area, to have access control, it would have a fence around it, and to be able to enclose that multi-use city facility away from the Prairie Park primary trail system in the wooded area is a strong desire. And that's what the council said at the meeting, is let's take a look at doing this project around those city facilities. So Electric's in the process of surveying that ground with a surveyor now, and then the next stage within the next 2 months here will be to come back and actually take a look at the contracts for the project, make sure that everything makes sense financially, that we can do it with the contractor, and it makes sense for Geneseo moving forward. There's a long explanation for you.
There you go. Well, but it is there's interest, and certainly that's the just the status of it now. And while again nothing is finalized, but there has been some thought that as part of this that recognition too, there are some improvements and stuff just with Prairie Park that have been identified, and it certainly would be the goal of the council to achieve those improvements in as a timely a fashion as possible, really regardless of whether or not the solar project goes forward. Those improvements would need to be made, and we appreciate everybody sharing the input that they have, and it is probably a lot of residents are it's not a it's not like City Park or Richmond Hill Park, to where there's just a lot of use of it, and there's probably several residents that aren't even really aware of the resource that's up there. But it is unique, and there is certainly a passion amongst the users of the park to maintain it and improve it, because it's cool in that it's kind of like you're kind of in just a little different world. When you get up there, you're just out of town, but the trails, particularly as you get through the woods and kind of meanders through various locations kind of by the canal and what have you, but it is a great resource for the city that, again, we would be looking to probably be doing some needed improvements regardless. Up there.
And we don't want to get too far ahead of the discussion because there's still so much to approve.
Correct.
And be approved by the Illinois Shines program. It'll all hinge on that if the solar project even goes. We're setting the early stages for location, site development. But, and then, really looking forward, though, we've had these conversations about, it's kind of been the wild, wild west out there a little bit with it being the city hasn't done a great job in the past of defining, what is what there. And as part of this, if the project goes, it's, then making a reinvestment to building some kind of volunteer commission or committee or group to help define the trails, take care of them, have good maps out there. What is the trail system? What is, let's have maps on the entrances and people know where to go in. I mean, you get out there now, it's kind of, what's going on out here? There's a lot with the city's facilities and stuff, and just make it a little bit nicer. I think it would be part of this initiative too, and make some improvements there, like Keith said. So
so that's I guess the latest on that. Business wise, have a couple of new things popping.
We're pretty excited. I mean, when we turn into 2025 here shortly, there's a couple of projects, one that's been in development for a long time. That's Scott and Julia McAvoy's business on State Street. Gaslight Wine Bar and Grocer, I believe, is what it's being called right now, or what it's going to be called when they open. But that'll be a wine bar. Right there on State, it's the black building. It's been Scott's been working diligently on it on the side for a few years now. Very talented carpenter, and doing some really neat things inside of that old historic building downtown. They're planning to open right around New Year's is what they're telling the city. So that's exciting as we turn 2025. And then Thai-Town Cafe is a new business that's coming into what is currently the Golden Garden restaurant on State Street. They have a restaurant currently in Rapid City, Illinois, a very successful location down by the river, but down by the Mississippi there. And they're expanding into Geneseo and taking over that space at Golden Garden. Golden Garden is going to be open, what we're being told, right around the holiday season. Then they will close. Thai-Town will come in, do some renovations, and be open hopefully in the February timeframe of 2025. And we'll have a Thai restaurant here in Geneseo.
So there you go. So that's nice. A new addition to the community. And again, the McAvoy building, as Brandon mentioned, this would be at the corner of State and Exchange. It's the black building on the southwest corner of the intersection. They've been doing extensive renovations of the building, but we welcome and again, I should know the name, but I will defer to you.
I'm probably saying some of the words backwards, but Gaslight Grocer and Wine Bar, I believe is what they're calling it. So there's going to be, I believe, a little bit of a grocery section, maybe, some packaged goods. I think, with, I don't want to assume what they're going to have, but I'm assuming there'll be bottled wine as well, cheeses, that kind of thing around the wine theme.
Yeah, it's not going to be an Aldi or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
It's
probably a small counter of goods for sale, as well as it having a nice event space and a wine bar and different things in there that Scott's building out currently still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and something else of interest is just to the community in general, but this was, I think, announced back in October. Don't know how much recognition it received. But every year, the state of Illinois, their Board of Education, does an assessment of schools throughout the state and what have you, and gives various ratings and recommendations on improvement plans and all this and that. But Geneseo High School, though, received the highest designation possible by being acknowledged as an exemplary school, and which means they're in the top 10% of schools in the state. So hats off to Geneseo High School, the administration, and school board, and of course all the teachers and volunteers and students. It all happens because everybody's working together. But another shout out to the high school being recognized again for the quality education that occurs inside this building. Not so much in this room.
Yeah.
But Justin is an example.
Only Justin.
But Brandon and I pulled it down a little bit. But other than that, though, hats off again to Geneseo High School on that recognition from the state of being acknowledged as an exemplary school, top 10% in the state.
Very important piece of the puzzle to making Geneseo a desirable community for people to continue to want to come to, and from a city perspective, for us to continue to do what we do and have a little bit of growth and expansion. So,
absolutely. Well, let's see. Probably should go through the burn pile and yard pickup stuff. That's all kind of coming to an end here.
Yep.
You may want to review the final times.
If you want to take advantage of the burn pile, it is final days are coming up. So we are open today. That's the burn pile at the Prairie Park 68 acres. And then tomorrow, November 23rd, will be open in the morning. And then the final days will be Friday 12/6 and Saturday 12/7. So some of those late dropping trees. I know I will probably be waiting till 12/7 to gather up some of those late dropping oak leaves. But just a lot of people, as we get to this time, and they really started dropping this week with the wind.
Yes.
Those are the final dates. We want to make sure to communicate that as much as possible so that people have an opportunity. And if you have yard waste, curbside yard waste that's Republic Services that does that. The last pickups curbside, depending on your scheduled date, are 11/25 and 11/26. So coming up next week, early next week for that.
Well, all right. I don't know if I have anything else in the left in the tank there, Brandon. Don't know about you, but
that's probably enough from us for one Friday.
And if there is anybody still listening, they're probably going, well, we like hearing from them, but now we know why they don't just have the two of them.
They've probably already switched over to Dwyer and Michaels, let's be honest.
They already gave up. And this probably shows good judgment.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, this will be our final program we'll be off next week for Thanksgiving. So hope that everyone listening or viewing has a nice Thanksgiving holiday. Obviously, you as well, Brandon. And we will be back then the following Friday with another edition of Let's Talk Geneseo. So for Brandon Meglin, I'm Keith Kennett. Maybe, and again, has anybody ever emailed a question or a comment in our 40 some odd programs?
It has happened, but it's very rare.
Well, let's give out your email address just in case there is somebody that would like to contact us.
It's usually a catch you in person type of thing.
That is true.
From what happens, but we would love to get your feedback via email too if you'd like to do that. bmeglin@cityofgeneseo.com, BMAEGLIN @cityofgeneseo.com.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up for us. So we appreciate you listening. Encourage you to stay tuned. In a little bit right after us, Justin will be here with weather. And this is WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo. Have a great weekend.